this story is called The Greatest Kid in the World, and it's a real life biographical story about someone very, very famous. So, some 70 years ago, a boy called Cassius was born in the town of Louisville, which is in Kentucky in the USA. He was his parents' first child, and his mum soon noticed he was so strong. At just 6 months old, he was sitting in her lap. He stretched out his arms, and he accidentally knocked out one of her teeth. But his mum didn't mind, because she just knew it had been an accident, and she was glad he was such a healthy boy. There's Mum and Cassius sitting on the chair together. So Cassius's father, Cassius Senior, was an artist and sign writer, and he loved showing off and telling tall tales. And his mother, Odessa, was a kindly lady who taught Cassius and his little brother to be polite, truthful and hardworking. The family lived in a nice cottage with a garden and always had new clothes to wear and enough food to eat. And like his father, little Cassius loved to be the centre of attention and could talk so quickly it was hard to keep up with him. His mother would come home to find dozens of the neighbourhood children on the porch listening to all the stories, and he had a real restless energy. He hated sitting still, and he would help his father with the sign writing and do little jobs to earn money. But Cassius soon noticed that Louisville was not a place that was fair to people like him. White people lived in the east part of town, and black people, like his family, had to live on the west side. But they weren't allowed into the nice shops and restaurants, and they had to sit on the back of buses, and white people were sometimes really mean to them. Cassius experienced this many times with his parents, and he remembered how, when he was a very young boy, a shopkeeper had refused to let them have a glass of water, even on a very hot day. And he knew that he and his family deserved as much respect as anyone else, and he was determined not to let anyone else push him around. He always had a very strong sense of what was right and what was wrong. And when he was 12, a theft changed his life forever. On that day, one of his friends told him that there was a special event at the Louisville Service Club with free popcorn and ice cream. Now, the chance to get a cool treat on a hot summer's day sounded great to the boys, and Cassius wanted to go for a ride on the fancy new bicycle he'd received for Christmas. There it is, you see. Cassius and his friend on their bikes. It had red and white paint, and it was the coolest bike in the neighbourhood. Cassius had a great time showing off his bike on the way to the club. He and his friends soon arrived and went inside, when they filled up on treats. However, when Cassius went out to where he'd left his beloved bike, it was gone. Someone had stolen it. The boy was so upset and furious he didn't know what to do. Someone told him that a police officer just across the road ran a boxing gym. So Cassius ran in to report the theft. He wanted the police to drop everything and catch the criminal who'd stolen his bike. Well, the police officer who ran the gym was a kind old man called Joe Martin. There he is. There's Joe, meeting Cassius. He helped Cassius to fill out a report about the missing bike, but he told him that the police might not be able to find it. But Joe also suggested that maybe Cassius would like to try boxing so that he could use his energy and also learn how to protect himself against thieves. Cassius agreed, and he began going to Joe's gym every morning to train. The old coach discovered that the boy's hands and feet were just as fast as his mouth. 6 weeks later, Cassius had his first real match against another boy, and he won. The feeling of triumph was amazing for a boy who loved being the centre of attention. Cassius declared he would be the greatest boxer of all time. He knew that to be the greatest he would have to work so hard. He got up extra early every morning to run and to train. He ate healthy food, and he practised his moves in front of the mirrors of the school bathroom. However, he never ever used his boxing skills to bully or hurt other people, and he wanted to become the best person he could be as a boxer and a human being. And there he is. And Cassius Clay went on to become the world heavyweight champion, the gold medalist in the Olympics, and he converted to Islam and became known as Muhammad Ali. And he also did a lot for civil rights for black people in America at a time when they were treated very unfairly. And so many people say he's the greatest sports person of all time. Thank you.